Every year, heart disease and cancer cause nearly 67% of all deaths globally. Yet, these conditions were practically non-existent in our early hunter-gatherer ancestors. For 99.6% of human history, we lived exclusively as wild hunter-gatherers. We thrived on a highly specific, nutrient-dense diet forged by our immediate environment. This timeline tracks the 3 million-year brain boom period. According to the expensive tissue hypothesis, as our ancestors prioritized calorie-dense meat, our digestive tracts shrank, freeing up massive amounts of metabolic energy to fuel this rapid quadrupling of brain size. Then, roughly 14,000 years ago, the Ice Age ended, and the massive game animals we relied on for survival went extinct. Left with an empty plains environment, early humans shifted to a desperate survival strategy: farming. The biological toll was immediate. Prior to the agricultural revolution, the average male hunter-gatherer stood around 5 feet 10 inches tall. Within a few thousand years of relying on a grain-based diet, that average dropped to 5 feet 3 inches. Think of the human body as a high-performance diesel engine. For 2.5 million years, we ran on premium fuel. Today, we are pouring cheap industrial agricultural byproducts straight into the tank, causing the system to break down from the inside out. Chronic modern diseases stem from this persistent biological mismatch between our ancient DNA and our modern pantry. To fix this mismatch, we must audit the fuel source. Grab your current weekly grocery list or pull up your meal plan. First, locate the industrial triggers and cross them off completely. This means removing refined sugars, standard vegetable oils, and heavily processed carbohydrates like store-bought breads and pastas. These highly engineered items flood your system with empty calories. Because our wild bodies never evolved to process them, they trigger chronic internal inflammation, the biological precursor to metabolic dysfunction. The modern agricultural diet is lopsided: 55% carbs and 15% protein. Our hunter-gatherer baseline maintained a balanced 37% protein and 41% carbs. Adjust your intake to match these targets: 40% carbs, 30% protein, and 25% healthy fats. Mathematically reversing these ratios back to our evolutionary baseline is the mandatory first step. It forces the empty calories out and makes room for real, nutrient-dense fuel.
Step 2
is selecting the right ingredients to fill those percentages. While carbohydrates provide essential energy, the problem lies specifically in modern, nutrient-void grains. Correct swaps make the difference. Replace standard wheat flour with Himalayan buckwheat, also known as kutu, and replace white rice with keema. These are complex, anti-inflammatory carbohydrates that do not trigger massive blood sugar spikes. For the rest of your carbohydrate allowance, pull directly from fibrous vegetables, tubers like sweet potatoes or yams, and a small controlled amount of fresh fruit. Next, we have the protein requirement, which presents a specific biological challenge for vegetarians. Unlike animal meat,
a single
plant source almost never contains the complete profile of essential amino acids your body requires to rebuild tissue. To solve this, use a method called protein stacking. This involves mixing multiple plant sources, such as legumes, pulses, soybeans, and paneer, within a single day to construct a complete protein profile. For non-vegetarians, factory-farmed animals pumped full of hormones are industrial products, and consuming them carries high disease risks. Source proteins that resemble what our ancestors hunted. Prioritize fresh, wild-caught seafood and lean poultry, and severely limit heavy red meats like pork or beef. Whether your plate is plant-based or includes meat, intentional ingredient variety mimics the broad-spectrum nutrition of a wild hunter-gatherer. The final macronutrient is unrefined fat. While often misunderstood, healthy fats are essential for optimizing brain function and maintaining cardiovascular health. Add natural, unrefined sources to your grocery list. This includes mustard oil, olive oil, avocados, and specifically walnuts, chia seeds, and flax seeds. Even with a perfect grocery list, we face a modern nutritional blind spot. Because our topsoil is depleted and we spend most of our time indoors, we cannot perfectly replicate the ancient environment through food alone. Strategic supplementation acts as a scientific bridge, connecting our modern indoor environment back to our ancestral biological requirements for vitamin B12 and omega-3 fatty acids. This diagram outlines the completed ancestral meal plan. We have fully populated the pyramid with fibrous vegetables, anti-inflammatory complex carbs, a diverse stack of clean proteins, and natural fats, perfectly matching our evolutionary macronutrient ratios. This nutritional structure restores the metabolic fuel source our body spent millions of years perfecting. Returning to this biological baseline helps stabilize the metabolic systems that, when stressed by modern fuels, lead to obesity, diabetes, and heart disease. Start small. Take your audited grocery list to the store and swap just one meal a day to begin. Pair that nutritional shift with 45 minutes of daily physical activity. Reclaiming your biological health is a process that works best when you share it. Show this blueprint to your family, audit your kittens together, and start building those positive evolutionary habits as a team.